Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I have a fairly balanced rack. I would have Pignolia through an L. I'm not seeing a 7 here. Slightly too many vowels and duplicate I. But certainly good enough to avoid changing. I have Igapo, which would turn over 5 tiles. All of these tiles are fairly bingo-y, but they're not particularly synergetic, so there's no particular advantage in holding on to 4 or 5 of them. Okay, so my most likely bingos would be through the consonants, the D and the T. Let me move my So that's my screen in its usual position. So do I have anything with a D or a T? Well, I do. I have opiating. Splendid. 463. Not a great pickup, but certainly too good to change. And I've got some good scoring tiles in the B, F and Y. But I'll be looking to play off at least 3 of B, F, U and Y. And I could play off all of them through an S with Fubsy. Wow, 54 points for opponent. Only 9 fewer points than I got for my bingo. No S for Fubsy. However, I do have Unify at the bottom, which leaves just the B of the quartet of tiles I was concerned about. So, Unify for 39. Well, balanced, 3 vowels, and I've got the un prefix, but no 7 or 8 is coming to mind. I don't think Be Hunted is good. Duplicate floaters in the D. What else is available? F and Y. Well, neither goes well with the B. And vowels don't look like they go well with this rack. So I'll be looking to play off certainly the U, that's non-bingo-y. And then the B and possibly the H as well. So a play of Hub would do the job, and that's available in column 6. Do I have it anywhere else? Gosh, so close. High and By, but not UF. I do have Hub and Gub, but that scores a lot less than the column 6 placement. Just wondering if there is an 8 with this rack. It certainly hasn't come to mind. V also available, but doesn't assist. Wow, fantastic bingo for opponent. A double-double with just 1 pointers. So he takes a 40-point lead. Plus my Hub spot goes, despite Ahoy being good. What I do have is the same play here for 24 points. Hub takes a C in front, still 2 Cs to come, but I trail, so the volatility is fine. Well, a lot of E's. Is there a bingo? Something was nagging away, and I think maybe I was thinking about intern E, but this rack is a long way away from that. And opponent continues to score. I now trail by 60. I've got the ED ending, but I'm not seeing anything with the D. What about the V? Well, I have Vendy, which, although it's not a bingo, does sort the rack out and create additional bingo lanes. Column 2, quite hot. Opponent has taken out the C hook danger for hub. Now I, F or Y. No, not seeing anything there. Certainly with all these E's, I need to consider plays ending double E, but I'm not seeing a bingo. So I think I will go with Vendy for 22. Great, fantastic rack. I am surely bingoing now. Where is the best lane? No double doubles available. So there's row A beginning with D. I have ladettes through that D, but I'm looking for a play which begins with the D. And that spot remains available. 39 points for opponent. So I trail by 80, but I should be able to claw quite a lot back. Now, before I consider the D, let me consider the Y, because any play ending in Y is going to score more, or beginning with Y. Again, I have layettes through it, but supposing the play ends LY, do I have a play? Let me briefly squiz through the alphabet. This rack plus a Y. Not seeing anything so far. That's ethylate through the Y. Gosh, Y's normally appear at the beginning and end of words, and all the ones I've seen have it in the middle. Still not seeing anything which works. There could be something. Still nothing. No, so I'm not seeing a play ending in Y, so let me return to a play beginning with D. And I'm not confident there is one, because one has not come to mind. And wow, I thought I had dilatate. I don't quite. Now there is a double lane, column 11. Do I have a play in column 11? It's the duplicate T, which I think is hampering me. I think I'll have another look. This rack plus DE. "14 minutes on my clock." Not seeing anything so far. Still nothing. What about the blank as an S? Nope. Okay, so still nothing. 14 minutes on my clock, 45 minutes. 45 tiles in the bag. What to do here? So where are the lanes? If I don't have a play beginning with D or Y or ending with them, so I could play Ladette. How horrendous is that for 83 points? Pretty horrendous. Let me pause before I take such a fateful step. What about a play through the F? The trouble is this rack is just capable of generating so many bingos, one could spend an awful long time because there are a lot of bingo lanes on the board. I feel there are bingos through the F, but I'm not seeing any. What about a play beginning, well, playable in column 2, but not placing a vowel in 7th place? No. Wow, this is tricky. I think I have to play Ladette. The points are just so much better than anything else I've considered. Great, I have the Q with an I, and great that I've got an S. So if I play off QI or indeed QIS, the remaining rack is going to be quite bingo-y. I've got cat through the A. Opponent surely distracted by the E of Ladette. But that does mean he's not going to be providing anything for me. Through an N, I would have sank. No N's. So I have cheese and Vendees. 35 points. 4 eyes to come. Well, I have chi and chi beside unified. That's going to be a much better play. And the rack leave after that of CORST is pretty hot. And although chi will be taking out bingo lanes, there'll be plenty of bingo lanes left. And since my rack leave will be consonant heavy, the floating vowels on the board will be more useful than they were with my vowel heavy racks. What if opponent doesn't take out the Ladette spot? Well, I think I've just got to leave it alone. My priority is burning the Q, and I can't do that in column 1. Now I have chi and die for 30 points. That's quite nice. It would leave the floating I available for my rack, which it has synergy with. And I lead. I'm 3 points in front. Still 38 tiles in the bag, including a blank amongst the unseen pool. If I had an N, I would have Gu Chin in row K. Opponent taking a while with this play. Maybe he doesn't have a rack which provides a good scoring option in column 1. Row E quite hot underneath X. X takes an O. There are still 4 O's to come. I've got one, but I can't play the Q with the O. Great, just 40 points for opponent, and he burns a lot of bingo-y tiles, and I can come straight back with a 47-point play. Well, I don't draw an E, but the E of Vendee is available if it's followed by an O. So, not a fantastic pick here. I'm not seeing a 7. I would have Clotchers through an E. Opponent takes that O spot. Rats, and 38 points. He has scored consistently throughout this game. So, where are the bingo lanes? Opponent has taken out the I of opiating, so there's the A of the same word, but that doesn't go well with this rack. Do I have any plays beginning Dev or Exo? No. Okay, so how to sort this rack out. Look at that, I played the Q and drew a U. So often the way. So really it's just RST that's worth keeping. There are a lot of O's to come, so I'm not in favour of retaining either of the vowels on my rack. 11 minutes to go. On my clock, rather. Floating G not particularly useful in first place, but it does take an S. Still 2 S's and a blank in the unseen pool. Dev takes an A, but I don't have an N for Exon. So I'm going to struggle to do what opponent has managed to do throughout this game, which is just put together move after move, which scores over 30 points. Column 9, a bingo lane, because of Diotas. 10 minutes on my clock. Where can I play off C and U? Well, I only want to play the C off because it should help me score. It is actually a pretty good bingo-y tile. I'm just not seeing anywhere to score with this rack. So frustrating. Just as I'd clawed my way back into the game. Well, it's pretty awful, but I can play QF for 11 and not block any bingo lanes. Wow, what a pickup. Absolutely immense. Thoroughly deserved. I draw the second blank and a vowel. This is a super balanced rack. I am surely bingoing now. I don't think I have a bingo beginning with Y. What about beginning with D? Dilators. Fantastic. And look at that, opponent again, a 30-point play. 23 tiles in the bag. I do have dilators. Is there anything better? What about a play beginning XO? There could well be one. Not seeing it. I have not studied the 10-letter X plays. I have gone up to 9, and I do have an S. But not seeing anything which works there. So I have dilators. What about column 9? Well, even if there is a play there, is it going to be superior to dilators? I think not. So, dilators for 77. What a pickup. Absolutely insane. Absolutely fantastic. I must be very close to a bingo. And I have Nouniest in row L. Fantastic. What about column 15? Not seeing anything. I've got the OUS ending, so I would have tenuous through a U. Not seeing anything beginning with G. So, is there really no 7 with this rack? It really looks like there should be a 7 here. Fortunately, I have Nouniest, and opponent must be attracted to the Z. I lead by 27 points. Not seeing anything beginning with Dev. What if opponent blocks Nouniest? That would be painful. On a board with so many scoring spots. Just one end to come for Chin. So I'm coming back to the S of dilators. I haven't given up on there being further bingos with this rack. It's a superset. I don't think there is a 7 here. I think I had an old mnemonic for Tony's. And the mnemonic gave the tiles which don't go with Tony's, and I think U was one of them. Of course, it's always possible, since the time a mnemonic is created, that new words will come into the word list, unless you're particularly careful about updating all your mnemonics. Then you may have an out-of-date one, but I don't think I have in this case. So any other floaters or bingo lanes I haven't considered? Well, it's certainly floaters. So what about the A? Fantastic. Opponent continues to score, but importantly, he does not block my bingo lane. And this could backfire horribly because I am providing a ton of floaters and a triple lane. But look at the remaining tiles and 8 minutes on my clock. And in particular, look at the remaining vowels. And this is a beautiful, beautiful sight. 3 A's and 2 O's are the only vowels. So that's 5 out of 17 tiles. I am providing vowels, floating vowels with nouniest, but not in column 15. So nouniest for 68. I draw 1 vowel, which is good. And actually the floating vowels on the board should help me. And I lead by about 50. But there's some big tiles to come in the W and the H. And look at this, there's an H for going underneath the C. So opponent could have Bratch in that spot. And my lead of 60 points could easily shrink to something far more slender. Fortunately, I do have the W for score, so I have ploughed in column 13. So I'll definitely be getting 20 points. So 30 points for opponent, 1 tile in the bag. Opponent burns 2 vowels, which is great. Just the 2 to come. And opponent could have ranch and probably does. So I lead by 30. What will 7 minutes on my clock? What will ranch score? 46 points. I don't have a play down from the Z. I do have a play down from the I of Kefir. So I can play Doubt. 25 points, keeping LST, and there are floating vowels on the board. I think this is the play. But am I giving opponent the opportunity to score through this P? Are there any something P, something H plays? No, there aren't. It would have to begin with an A. And I'm not seeing one, so I am going with this. Well, let me pause. Does opponent have a bingo through the E? No, I don't think he does. Could he have an ING play? He could have charring. Okay, well, I can't block ranch and charring. So if he has charring, A is in the bag. I'm going with Doubt for 25. No A, fantastic. It's still possible opponent has a bingo, but it's not one I've spotted. And I have Lints through the I. And I have E-Lints through E and I. So I am definitely going out. I lead by 50. I think opponent has to bingo to win. So does he have a bingo? Double A, C, G, H, double R. What are the floaters? I'm not seeing a 7. There's pretty much every vowel apart from O. Not seeing anything with the A. Great. Opponent does not bingo. He blocks lints. He does not block e-lints. And I also had lunts through the U, but e-lints is 10. That scores more. 5 minutes on my clock. And, well, NY is good, but I'm not going to play off the other tiles. I am going with this. And the final score, 437 for my opponent, 471 for me, a winning margin of 34 points, so a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. What a game. Opponent zoomed off and just kept on scoring. So, let's see what happened. It was my opponent to go first. He played Diota. And that's great for me. I have opiating. Opponent plays Davy. And I have Unify at the bottom. So look at this. Look how wide open this board is. We've already reached the top and bottom row. And opponent is sitting here with a ton of bingos. Plays Alerions. No bingo for me. A for Beth. That's nice. 34 points. What do I do? Okay. As in, yeah, probably not as good. Hub for 24. Let me think about this. So I'm dropping 10 points. Is teen 10 points better than ENU? Probably not. ENU is not terrible. The N helps the U. I would say that's probably -1 or 2. And teen, probably positive, probably +2 or 3. So maybe a 5-point difference in the rack leaves, but a 10-point difference in score. And sticking the B in the middle of row A on this double letter square, not particularly dangerous. So, opponent's rack plays a jam. Phew, no missed bingo there. And I play Vendy for 22. Not ideal, putting an E over a double word square. D-net opens up column 1, but does score well. Dean, B2. Yeah, I think all of these plays have pros and cons. But this worked well for opponent with X. Now, great rack for me, but did I have a better bingo? Yes, Delectate, C11. Double through DE. 86 points, well done if you spotted that. And then it's the play I made, Ladette, was the next higher scoring. And nothing fabulous. There were some F bingos, but they all began with the F, so opened column 15. And therefore undesirable, so Delectate best, but Ladette probably second best. Opponent took a while with this play. Played Emir. I trail by 37, but I'm able to get rid of the Q, score well, and leave a good rack leave. Horrible rack for opponent, but he keeps on scoring with Vogue and takes the lead. Great, no miss bingo. And look at this, having initially been pleased with this rack, thinking it had bingo potential. In the absence of any bingos, it's seriously lacking in scoring potential. And I play QF for 11, which looks like it's a lot less than what's on offer here, because it is. But I'm retaining Lortz. So how does Lortz compare to STU? Yeah, it's better. Lortz is good. Maybe +5. STU. Well, maybe Lortz is better than +5. It goes well with every vowel, so maybe maybe Lortz is closer to +10, and STU maybe down about 6, so maybe a 5-point difference in spread there, but an 11-point difference in score, so a 10-point difference in score. So possibly Claro better, but I trailed, and certainly my rack lead was more bingo-y than STU. Opponent's rack plays Zine, and I now trail by 50, but I've drawn well. I have dilators and dilutors, and nothing else scored as much. Great rack for opponent. Doesn't have a 5-letter play ending in H for row O. Plays Kefir, and again I trail. But look at this, Naunius, the only bingo, so delighted to have spotted that. That really tilted the game in my favour. Opponent plays Bowat. I now lead by 31 with 1 in the bag. And I played Doubt for strategic reasons. I thought opponent had a good chance of having Ranch, which is nearly 50 points. And he doesn't. The N is in the bag. But he does have AARGH. So I was stopping him scoring well. He plays Charger, but I'm able to go out with Elints and secure the win. So what a game. Absolutely fantastic start to the game with action spreading to the top and the bottom row, so absolutely wide open board. Opponent established a lead and just kept on scoring relentlessly. I got a break later on with a couple of close bingos, possibly back-to-back with Dilators and Nauniest, and was then able to hang on for the win. So super exciting stuff. Many thanks to my opponent for a great battle. I hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.